Hey, welcome back, guys. Apologies for the technical difficulties there. So, part two, episode 50, Droid Life Show. We were just about to go into Google I/O, I believe. So, Google I/O starting June 25th and 26th this year. It's now official. They're shortening it from 3 days down to 2 days. Last year it went to 3, and I think the year before it might have even gone to 3. And but last year we also noticed that it went to more of, or I guess back to a focus on developers, not so much about the free stuff and announcing new products and all this stuff. It really was back to just being a developer conference with developer sessions to work on apps and services, all that stuff. So yeah, it's happening, and we'll probably be there again, just like we always are. Who knows if we'll see anything cool come out of it. At this point, we don't know. Last year was kind of, I don't want to say disappointing, but it just wasn't the same as it was in years past. So, any thoughts on Google I/O before I move on?
I want to go this year, man.
Oh, yeah, we need to talk about the registration process, if you guys want to. So, registration process is changing this year to basically a lottery system. You sign up when they say you can, and basically you're telling them you're interested in going. And if you can, well, then they will pick, again, lottery system, and let you know if you're one of those chosen. And that's how you get to go. So you don't really have any control. They said more details are coming later. I would almost assume or hope they would allow people that have come for years and years and years to decide if they want to go again.
No.
But we'll see.
I think, well, so the lottery system they will pick, and then those people will have to pay, is the way I think it is, or should
Well, yeah,
be.
everyone's still going to have to pay.
Of course, yeah.
All right, yeah, okay. No free entry for these moments.
Yeah, no free entry. So they'll just do lottery system. They'll notify you if you can go, and then if you can go, you have to pay their prices that seem to keep going up each year. And yeah, it's so you have no control, and I think that kind of sucks. While their old system obviously broke a lot and was very frustrating, this one you don't have any control whatsoever. At least in the other one, you had a chance to dive in there early, refresh the page 1,000 times, and sign up. Now you can't do that at all.
And
You just have
feel
to
the
hope.
heartbreak.
Yeah, you just have to hope that they pick you. So it's kind of unfortunate, but I guess they're trying something new.
I'm all about something new.
You're press. You're press. It doesn't even count. You and I just like say, "Hey, can we come? We're press," and they go, "Sure."
Yeah, but still, you know, for all those people who like to complain about the system and blah, 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 maybe they'll think that this is more fair, you know, and you won't have to have a site crashing or any of that, like, you know.
I mean, it was going to crash either way, you know.
Well, how does Apple do it?
I think they do.
I think they're just
First
developing.
Well, they just charge $10,000 a person,
Yeah.
so there's not too many people. You know?
But they still sell out fast enough. Maybe it's just limited to people that. Yeah. Well, although Google raised the prices a lot, I think in the last year too. I think number one to eliminate the people that come just to get free stuff. Like you used to sign up and you'd walk out of there with free stuff that was worth more than what you paid for a ticket.
Definitely.
It's kind of nuts. So yeah, that's happening June 25th, 26th. We'll hopefully something big comes out of it. We'll see. You never know. You never know with Google. I mean, they didn't even have an event for KitKat, but yet they did for the Nexus 7. So I don't know. Google Fiber. Tim, big Google Fiber news. I think you were on this today. What's going on with Google Fiber today?
Huge developments. Google announced 9 new metropolitan areas that they are exploring the possibility of bringing Google Fiber. Within each of those 9 metropolitan areas are smaller cities. So, for example, Portland, where Kellen and I both reside, there are a few towns/cities within that Portland area, such as Beaverton, Hillsborough, Lake Oswego, Tigard, or Tigard, however you want to pronounce it. I like Tigard. But and so like in Georgia there was Atlanta. I'm sorry, I don't know any of like the suburbs.
Yeah, no idea.
Cities there.
They're probably all still frozen or something.
Yeah, but so I think there was about 34 total markets that they're exploring, which is huge. Everyone's just been like, oh, Google Fiber, please. And now, especially with the Comcast trying to acquire Time Warner, people are just trying to escape this terrible monopoly that these ISPs are creating. And Google, being the overlord saviors that they are, they're trying to help. And with reasonably priced gigabit per second internet speeds, and it is actually reasonably priced. So,
Oh yeah.
of course, they're working with city governments and mayorships to try and figure out what it will take to bring Google Fiber to these
If
towns.
it comes to Portland, we're gonna officially have massive Droid Life meetup and just celebrate Google Fiber.
Pop bottles, do everything.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be pretty amazing.
It'll be like the Windows 7 launch parties of yesteryear, you know.
Exactly. I already
Except
feel
cool.
Yeah, I feel confident. I have my next door neighbors are a few pretty large national corporations, and my neighborhood is already connected for fiber optic. So
Yeah, you're in a FiOS neighborhood. See, I'm not.
So I'm
so
sort
yeah.
of hoping that I get lucky, because if I have Google Fiber at my house, I mean, just think about how much stuff I can stream just all day long. All in my face.
I think if it comes to our area, you're gonna get it before I will, which sucks.
Sorry.
I'll just hang out at your house,
So
I guess.
the downside that I heard to this story,
What downside? There is no downside.
What are you
Okay.
talking,
What
Blast?
is it? Yeah.
in the net neutrality ruling, the judge used Google Fiber as an example of why, there's diversity in the market, and that's why that's one of the reasons in his ruling, or in their ruling, that they struck down the net neutrality.
Well, if they put Google Fiber everywhere, then that just won't matter, I guess, because we'll all just be on Google Fiber.
That would be nice, but at the
I see
moment
what
it's
you're
only in
saying,
2 cities,
It is, yeah. Or 3 or something.
3.
Yeah,
Yeah, 3.
absolutely no timeline on all of this, which is
No, absolutely not.
worrisome.
Yeah.
But
They when Google says that they are exploring something, we got at least, I'd say, 24 months to expect.
No, they said I
any
think by
type
the
of
end of the year
progress.
they should have some sort of.
They would have like an
announcement or something,
update.
Right?
They would have
Was it just an update? Okay.
Yeah, they're not gonna have nothing. So
they're gonna have it everywhere by the end of 2014. Yeah.
yeah, this year's already flying, dude. I mean, it's almost already March. I feel
It is
like
almost March.
and that's kind of scary.
Yeah. But that's big news. Google Fiber potentially in a lot more markets. I cannot wait. I may just move if it comes close. Tim, I may be your neighbor.
That's not going to happen.
That's cool, man.
All right, so
Place
Samsung finally announced or gave us an official list of all of their devices that will receive KitKat, and it's actually pretty extensive, at least for the U.S. market. I haven't heard anything about their international stuff, but we're looking at Galaxy S4, S4 Mini, S4 Active, S4 Zoom, Note 3, Note 2, S3, S3 Mini, Mega Lite, whatever the hell the Galaxy Lite is, Galaxy Note 8.0, the Tab 3, the Note 10.1, and the Note 10.1 2014. It's a pretty decent list. So all of those, I'm surprised they're going all the way back to the S3 Mini. That just must mean they're not changing much.
Yeah, they're just showing up HTC. They're like, oh, you guys can't even update phones that are not even 2 years old? Well, check it out. S3 Mini. KitKat. It happened.
KitKat.
I'm not sure that's the reason, but competition is a good thing, right?
Yeah.
That's what.
I mean, why wouldn't they at this
told
point?
me.
I mean, HTC is pretty much the last company they have to take down, and then it's all of them now.
Well, HTC did a decent job with KitKat, right? They pushed it out early to
on
unlock
the one
different.
they did.
Yeah, on the one.
On the
You're
one,
right.
they were very transparent about like 90 days. They were really cool about that. But then other devices that came out before were just getting shafted.
You got to give them a break. They have like 2 guys doing updates for the whole
Two
lineup
guys
of
with-
phones at this point.
2 guys in a very dark basement up in Seattle just working on code.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So they didn't give us a timeline. They just said these devices will get KitKat. It's now up to carriers, all that jazz. Although the Sprint S4 already saw the update, right?
Jazz.
So, jazz fingers. Let's see what else is going on. Oh, last week during our show, we talked about Verizon's More Everything plans becoming, or they were essentially just rumored at that point. We had a slide about it. They are now official. So if you're on Verizon, and we got a couple emails actually this week of people that were on one of the 2 gigabyte plans, and they noticed that they're now have 3 gigabytes of data. So yes, if you're on one of these if you're on a share everything plan, and you're in one of the 1 or 2 gigabyte plans or the 500 megabyte plan, they'll just double you or up you to the next amount, whatever the new ones are, if that makes any sense. Just go to our site and search More Everything. Yeah. But yeah, those are live.
Thanks, Verizon.
Yeah, they're not that great, but they're something. At least
Better
they're
than nothing.
more data. Same damn price.
Yeah, I'm desperately clinging on to unlimited at this point, and just waiting for the day that they eliminate it entirely.
Rest in peace.
It's gonna
It'll
happen
come.
at
The
some
day will
point.
come.
They're doing
They
some
like
decent things. I mean, I know it's not unlimited, but they're doing like they have a couple of loyalty programs and stuff. They were doing for a while where it's like 6 gigabytes for $30 or something, but that might be gone. I think there's another loyalty program out there that's a decent deal, but it's only like 2 gigabytes of data or something. So I don't know. They were trying to make it a little easier on everyone that had unlimited, but I think those days are even gone.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dear data. All right, cool. Let's talk some apps real quick.
Aw.
Uh-huh. Aw.
Apps.
Do you want to talk about this Meet Me Halfway app, Tim?
Yeah, it's my favorite app of the week.
Favorite app ever.
Ever, right?
App of the week. Meet me halfway, baby. So for anyone who potentially uses Craigslist, that's actually the only service that I could think of when I was writing that. But there's plenty of I wanted to call it peer-to-peer selling.
What about if you and I just wanted to meet up for lunch? Couldn't we use this app?
Well, we already know where to meet up. But yeah, we could technically. Yeah, we could. Yes.
Tossing it out there.
Yeah. So I guess for anyone who needs to meet someone else halfway between where those two people are located, Meet Me Halfway will do that for you based on distance. And so, say for example, I was in Portland, someone I had to meet was down in Salem. It shows a ton of gas stations or somewhere kind of around the freeway, which is halfway between that distance. So it's actually pretty good. And it's not like they're populated areas for so they're not just gonna say halfway between you and him is like a dark alley. Like it's an actual place of business, somewhere where you can hope that other people are there. I mean, the way I saw it is that it would be good for Craigslist. And so you don't have to worry about getting shanked for whatever you're selling.
Shanked, yeah. So you're not meeting in a dark alley. You're actually at a place of business.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
but, I mean, you can use it if you had a business lunch or something somewhere. You were meeting a friend or whatever. You could just meet halfway.
Yeah, that's a really good. I didn't think of that. I don't really meet people.
Anyway. No, we don't meet people.
Cave trolls.
But the app is currently in beta, and so it's completely free. It follows Android guidelines quite nicely. It has a translucent notification bar and navigation buttons down on the bottom. So it's a hot little app. It uses Google Maps API. So it's
I was going to ask.
Yeah, Google Maps API. Right now it's only based on distance and not time it takes to travel. So that could be, I saw someone say, oh, what about, it takes me longer to get to that distance than the other person. Well, I'm sorry. Maybe in a future update. It's still in beta. So
maybe when they get bought out by Google and it gets added into Google Maps.
Yeah, when it just gets added in.
I'm sure it will be. I don't see why it wouldn't be. It just seems like a good little $1 billion snatch up.
Yeah, it does.
I think that functionality is trivial, honestly, and Google could do it themselves if they wanted, but,
They probably could, yeah.
Yeah,
they
but
probably will.
Why hasn't it been there already? I mean, it seems like such a simple idea, yet why hasn't it been around type of deal? I'm sure there's an app quite like it.
I hope this guy gets rich. Somebody
he deserves to get rich because the app just functions the way you would expect it to. You just type in 2 addresses and boom, you have a list of 10 places that are right in the middle of those 2 locations. Genius. So.
Yeah, it just seems kind of bare bones, but I hope they add more functionality down the road.
It is bare bones. I mean, yeah, beta for sure, but that's what I like about it. I like that it's not bogged down with a bunch of crap.
Yeah, I'm the same way. If it's nice and minimal and it runs fast and it works well, then hey, I'm fine with that. That's
kind of why I've been not liking Google Maps so much, because I feel that Google Maps almost has too much crap going on now. Yeah, it does so much. It's so much more than just a Maps app now. You being able to check in and all this stuff. Just let me. I just want directions, dude.
I just want to look at a map.
Yeah, I don't need all this. So that's just my take. Sorry.
So the app I want to talk about is called, I think it's just called AC Display or AC Display. I'm not really sure how you say that, but it's basically a active display type of clone for non-Moto X devices or devices running KitKat. And it's actually kind of neat. It doesn't have all the same full functionality as the active display does. But when you get an email or notification, pops up on your screen, looks a lot like active display, except there sort of has this ring timer around your notification that gives you an amount of time for your screen to be lit up and sort of to react to that notification. And it stacks notifications on top of each other just like active display. But it won't, like if you pick up your phone or pull it out of your pocket, it won't just automatically come on or anything like that. Though the developer has it in super early beta, just like Tim's app, so there's got to be features coming along. We'll see what they can do with it to make it better. But I believe it's still free. And it's called, AC Display. It's just an active display sort of clone. Really cool app. I have it on my Nexus 5, and it works really well. So
I did have it installed, and I really liked it until one night I was trying to go to sleep, and for some reason during the middle of the night I get like a ton of emails, and so my screen just kept lighting up, and I was like, oh, I wish I could like snooze the actual app and just be like, stop turning my screen on, because it's not like the Moto X where it's only that part of the screen. Like the whole Nexus 5 display turns on, but black, and it's quite loud. If a color could be loud, it would be loud. Just like whatever sound is going on in the background, it's very loud. But either way, Act Display. I'm pretty sure it's Act Display. Kind of like
it could be Act Display. Yeah. All right. Anyways, that's my app. Tim, what else you got?
What else do I got? Wow. So last week, pretty sure it was last week. The Room 2 was launched onto Google Play, and I don't know if y'all have played The Room, but The Room 2 is the sequel that we have all been waiting for, or just I have been waiting for.
Yeah, I think just you. I didn't play the original.
Are you? Okay, so if you got like 2 hours to spare, I highly recommend picking up the first one. It's
Maybe
on
I did
sale
play
right
the
now
first
for
one a little bit.
Oh, it's so good.
I did play the first one a little bit.
Yeah, so The Room 2 is a sequel to The Room, naturally. And it's a 3D puzzle game, and basically like any of these puzzle games, it's kind of like an escape the room, but it's more like a get inside the box game, because you're trying to solve these puzzles to open up new puzzles and travel through different dimensions, and there's a great story that goes alongside the puzzles, and the puzzles are quite challenging, and I will admit I had to go online and look up just a couple of hints to try and figure out a couple of them, but that's because, there's like a little hint bar, to try and help you, but it's very vague, and you have no idea like what to do. So, but I like these types of games. I love being able to point and press. But what's cool about The Room is there's so much effort that went into the story and the development, the graphics. The 3D looks great, very interactive. Pinch to zoom and stuff, and double tap, come out, and twirl it around. It looks great. Unfortunately, for Android users, it's $2.99. So I know that $3 might be a little.
Us cheapo Android boys over here.
It's a bit for Android users, but I assure you, it's quite worth it. If you don't mind only paying $3 for 2 hours or 3 hours worth of entertainment. But yeah.
The Room.
The Room 2.
The Room 2.
All right, what is this other app? What is Mikey Shorts? I saw this somewhere today.
What? Oh, Mikey Shorts. Yeah, well, this game is actually not released yet. I just want to be able to tell everyone that tomorrow, Mikey Shorts from Noodle Cake House Studios, I believe? Noodle Cake, yeah.
They make some good games, don't they?
They do make some good games, and it's releasing tomorrow on Google Play. And I'll write it up, but just be on the lookout. Mikey Shorts. Mikey Shorts. It'll be out tomorrow. I don't know what price or anything like that, but
okay,
it'll
figure that out.
It's gonna be good.
Yeah,
I played it and it's a blast. It's like Mario, except you're timed, and I don't know if I like that too much. But the controls are good, and I love Mario. So any game that's like Mario is a win in my book. So.
All right. Anything else you want to toss out there? Last minute things. Galaxy S5 event coming up. So next week we'll be back after the Galaxy S5 event from New York. So we'll probably have a show, talk about that phone, I don't know that we'll have one in hand just because they're probably going to announce it and say it's coming in a couple of weeks. But yeah, we'll probably have plenty to talk about there. I'm sure everyone's going to want to react to the Galaxy S5 for sure. So yeah.
Yeah, it'll be a big deal.
It'll be a big deal. Always is
real
when
quick.
Samsung does it.
I just want to apologize to all the listeners and readers and viewers out there. You know, I said that we would be doing a reader or a viewer Q&A, but with the the technical difficulties, we're just going to run out of time, unfortunately. So I promise we'll do one next week, and I'm so sorry.
Promising a Q&A next week on Samsung.
Hey, maybe there's a Q&A on
Release
Samsung.
week.
Yeah, that's true. We did forget the Q&A. Sorry, but yeah, technical difficulties. It's now running late. I don't really want to keep everyone longer. We'll do Q&A next week. Next
week.
time for sure.
We'll do an official Q&A. We'll do a post. We got to do a post, and we'll take some of those, and we'll answer them on air. And It'll be great.
It'll be great.
It'll be a fun time.
Yep. And we got Samsung to talk about next week. So.
We do. Good stuff. All right, cool. Well, thanks for joining us. Again, apologies for the technical difficulties. Yeah. We're Droid Life. We're out of here. Peace.
Episode 50.
50!
Adios.
In the books.